I, never thought I'd get to a point or situation where it would get too much for me. I always thought I was on top of these things and I could manage.
The royal rumor mill is buzzing.
The concert hall buzzed with excitement as one of the world's most elite musical evenings kicked off. Lights dimmed, whispers filled the air, and then an unexpected jab echoed through the venue. A world-renowned pianist cracked a joke, mocking Prince William's rumored piano skills in front of the elite crowd. Laughter followed. Cameras captured the prince's reaction, a polite smile, but eyes focused, steady. Most expected him to laugh it off, to stay seated, to take it as royals often do, with quiet dignity. But what happened next would flip the entire night on its head. Prince William rose, stepped calmly toward the grand piano, and sat down. Silence fell. Every eye followed his every move. No one, absolutely no one, was prepared for what came next. And when it was over, the very crowd that once chuckled was now standing in thunderous applause. The event took place at a prestigious charity gala held at London's Royal Albert Hall, an evening designed to raise funds for music education. Attendees included top musicians, actors, politicians, and of course, members of the royal family. Prince William was there not just as a guest, but as a longtime patron of the event. What many didn't know, what the public rarely hears about, is that Prince William grew up surrounded by music. His mother, Princess Diana, made sure he and Prince Harry had well-rounded upbringings, which included learning musical instruments. William took to the piano in his youth, even reaching a decent level of skill. But he never showcased it publicly, preferring to keep it a private passion. Most saw him as the stoic future king, respectable, formal, maybe a little stiff. Certainly not someone you'd expect to sit at a piano in front of a crowd. The public perception painted him as a figure of tradition, not talent. That's what made the night's event so striking. No one saw it coming. He wasn't there to perform. There was no plan, no rehearsal. What happened was pure reaction, sparked by a moment of ridicule, answered with raw, unrehearsed grace. The pianist was none other than Maestro Filippo Ventura, an internationally acclaimed virtuoso known as much for his talent as for his sharp tongue. With sold-out shows across Europe and a shelf full of awards, Ventura had a reputation, not just for masterful performances, but for a cocky, almost theatrical presence. That night, he was scheduled to headline the gala with a solo performance. But before taking the stage, he made a detour into royal territory. As he stepped up to the microphone to greet the audience, Ventura let loose a line that would echo far beyond the walls of the concert hall. "It's lovely to see His Royal Highness with us tonight," he began, then smirked. "I hear he plays piano too. Perhaps a royal recital? Or shall we spare the instrument?" The room broke into polite laughter, but it was the kind of laughter that turns awkward fast. Cameras panned to Prince William, who smiled, nodded, but his jaw tightened ever so slightly. It wasn't just a joke, it was a dare. Ventura likely meant it as light-hearted, maybe even charming, but in a room full of artists, the line struck a nerve. A few people clapped nervously, others just shifted uncomfortably. The jab had landed. No one expected what would follow. Ventura moved to the side of the stage, waiting for his cue. But before he could sit at the piano, someone else was already walking toward it. Calm, collected, unshaken. It was Prince William. Prince William didn't say a word. No smirk, no comeback, no gesture. He simply stood up, adjusted his jacket, and made his way through the stunned crowd. The spotlight instinctively followed him, catching a glimpse of Ventura's confused expression as he stepped aside. The prince took a seat at the grand piano, a gleaming Steinway, polished to perfection. His fingers hovered above the keys for a moment, then settled with confidence. People murmured, was this really happening? Was the future king about to play? And more importantly, could he actually play? What happened next was both unexpected and unforgettable. William began playing Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune, a hauntingly beautiful piece that demands both precision and emotion. Not an easy choice, and certainly not one you just casually improvise. The choice wasn't random. Clair de Lune translates to light of the moon, and the piece carries themes of elegance, serenity, and quiet strength. Whether intentional or not, it reflected William perfectly in that moment. His posture was poised, his fingers smooth and deliberate. This wasn't a party trick. This was a statement. Not loud, not angry, but refined and controlled. Ventura, watching from the side, remained frozen. The room held its breath. William had answered mockery not with words, but with music, and not just any music, but something deeply human and universally understood. From the first note, the atmosphere in the room shifted entirely. Gone was the awkward tension. In its place, silence, deep, concentrated silence. You could hear the breath being held in the balconies. William's fingers moved with a surprising grace, gliding across the keys like someone who had spent years in practice, not just dabbling in childhood lessons. Each note of Clair de Lune floated through the hall with a mix of delicacy and strength. There was no showmanship, no dramatic flair. It wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about delivering something honest. People began leaning forward in their seats. Eyes widened. Cell phones came out, not in distraction, but in awe. The man they had seen countless times in ceremonial military uniforms or next to his wife at formal events was now completely transformed. Here sat Prince William, alone, focused, and utterly commanding, without uttering a single word. As he moved into the heart of the piece, the crescendo unfolded with quiet confidence. His timing was impeccable, his expression calm, even tender. There were no unnecessary flourishes, just clean, sincere playing. Ventura, the pianist who had mocked him moments earlier, stood off to the side, visibly stunned. This wasn't just a decent performance, it was beautiful, authentic, real. People began to whisper, "Did you know he could play like that? Is this actually him?" Some suspected it might be pre-recorded, but there was no trick. It was live. It was raw. By the final few notes, the hall was so quiet, it felt like time had stopped. William let the sound linger, his hands gently leaving the keys as the last note echoed into the air. Then, nothing. A single second of silence. And then the room exploded. Applause burst from every corner. People stood. Some whistled. Others clapped slowly, eyes wide in disbelief. The applause wasn't just for the music, it was for the moment. Prince William stood, bowed modestly, and returned to his seat, his face calm, as if nothing extraordinary had just happened. But something had happened. He had shattered expectations, silenced critics, and made a room full of the world's most discerning artists completely forget their cynicism. He didn't have to prove anything, but he did. The internet got there first. Clips of Prince William's impromptu performance flooded social media within minutes. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, every platform had its version of the moment. Some videos zoomed in on his focused expression, others showed the crowd's stunned faces, and nearly all ended with the thunderous standing ovation. Headlines the next morning were explosive. Prince William shocks gala with piano masterpiece, future king, hidden talent, a royal clapback without saying a word. Even traditional media couldn't help but dive into the story. BBC, CNN, The Guardian, everyone ran coverage not just of the performance, but of the unexpected elegance with which William handled public embarrassment. It wasn't just a good performance, it was a cultural moment. The public response was overwhelmingly positive. People admired his composure, his humility, and his unwillingness to stoop to drama or conflict. Instead of clapping back with ego, he answered with music. That choice resonated. Some fans even dug up old footage from school events where a young Prince William was seen practicing piano. Others pointed out how the moment revealed a side of him the world rarely sees. Authentic, quietly confident, and deeply human. As for Ventura, the maestro offered a statement days later, calling Williams' playing unexpectedly elegant and referring to the moment as a royal surprise I'll never forget. Whether it was humility or damage control, it didn't matter. The moment belonged to William now. From memes to praise from fellow musicians, the ripple effect was massive. He didn't just silence a pianist, he stunned the world. Prince William's unexpected performance did more than silence a room. It shattered a stereotype. For years, he has been seen as the safe royal, the steady hand behind palace protocol, the calm contrast to his brother's tabloid chaos. But that night, William reminded the world that dignity and strength aren't always loud. Sometimes they're expressed through a simple melody. The moment was more than music. It was a powerful lesson in grace under pressure. In a world obsessed with clapping back, going viral, and winning the argument, William chose a different route. He didn't need to defend himself with words. He let his skill speak. And in doing so, he flipped the script on what it means to be royal. This story also hit a broader nerve. It reminded people that you never really know someone's story or talents just by looking at their title or status. A prince can be a pianist, a quiet man can deliver a powerful moment, and a mocking jab can become the spark for something unforgettable. For younger generations especially, the moment offered something rare from royalty: authenticity. It wasn't scripted, rehearsed, or packaged by PR. It was raw, real, and vulnerable in the best way. In just a few minutes at a piano, Prince William redefined himself, not by speaking louder, but by doing something simple and human. And that's what made it unforgettable. In the weeks following the gala, Prince William received a wave of public admiration. Music foundations praised his technique, and piano teachers across the UK saw a surge in interest, many even joking that Prince William fever was more effective than any marketing campaign. Charity donations to the event skyrocketed after the performance went viral, helping fund more instruments and classes for underprivileged youth. William didn't speak much about the night, letting the moment speak for itself. But Kensington Palace quietly released a short thank you message, praising the event's success and the unexpected joy of music. Ventura, the pianist who made the jab, was noticeably quieter in interviews for a while. While his reputation remained intact, his aura of invincibility took a hit. For Prince William, the night added a new layer to his public image, not just the royal heir, but the man behind the crown, a man who answered criticism with calm courage. What started as a joke at his expense became one of the most iconic moments in recent royal history. Prince William, mocked on stage, responded not with anger or ego, but with a quiet, beautiful piece of music that turned silence into strength. In a single performance, he reminded the world of the power of restraint, the depth of hidden talent, and the dignity of leading by example. Moments like this don't just entertain, they inspire. And if you believe the world needs more calm courage like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it.